Alright, so I'm Vinny Mezain from Mezian Motors. We're an auto repair facility out in Los Angeles. It's a business started by my father, Harry Mezian, back in 1983. Before opening the shop, he worked at Lindquist. It's an old school dealership. I don't think it's around anymore. He worked his way up. He was a runner, did parts, moved up to service, and then became a master tech. He opened up his own shop because he was just tired of people telling him what to do. He's got over 40 years of experience. We're ASC certified, which is pretty much kind of like certification, just saying that we know how to handle customer service. And we work on all makes and models, but specialize in European. So do any of you guys know why we specialize in these makes?
German?
Pretty much. Can anybody guess why?
Big bucks.
Big bucks, who said that? That, and they require actually like specific tools and unique diagnostic computers, so not everybody can work on them. Who knows what that light is? Who has one? Don't ignore your check engine light. It's very, very important that you guys take a look at what's going on with the car. These are the most common causes of them. This is what people hope is why their check engine light is on. Chances are it's not. When you wait too long, it becomes a list of things, and then your repair bill ends up being thousands of dollars. So one thing I want to mention is the importance of oil changes. The reason why, it's not just the oil change in itself. Every time you take a car in for an oil change, we're checking everything out. We're checking the brakes, we're checking to see if there's any leaks, oil leaks, coolant leaks. Who knows why oil is important? Carl.
You want to keep the viscosity down so that it keeps the components in the motor lubricated.
Yes, definitely. Also, better gas mileage, and then if you own the car, your car's going to last longer. How many miles do you think you have to change your oil? Yes, Carl?
10,000 miles.
25,000? That's what the dealer tells you. 5,000 is the ideal situation. If you really love your car, you can do it every 3K. The different kinds of oil: mineral, synthetic blend, fully synthetic. So mineral is pretty much conventional oil. Old school cars have it, some domestic cars still can take mineral oil. Synthetic blend is a fancy way of kind of saying 50-50, 30-40, that's what Jiffy Lube kind of sells you with their pretty price tag. But fully synthetic is what you really want to put into your car.
Really?
Yeah. So if you see a good deal for an oil change, it's probably going to be a synthetic blend.
What is the difference between that? though, seriously?
So synthetic blend, it has some fully synthetic oil, and then they mix it with mineral, so the conventional oil. So it's a mixture of the cheap oil with
The fully
the good stuff.
synthetic?
Like,
No, the synthetic blend.
Like
And then
synthetic
what's
better.
fully?
What's fully?
Yeah.
Fully synthetic is going to be, basically, it's made in a lab and it's geared towards handling extreme temperatures.
Oh.
So you can make oil, like if somebody put one type of oil on.
No, you have to stick to what your manufacturer recommends. But sometimes if like extreme weather situations happen where let's say you're in really, really cold weather, you can go a little thinner on the viscosity. But normally you want to stick to what the sticker tells you to do.
Even synthetic oil, you should use 5,000.
Yes, if you own the car, especially after, I'd recommend it after like 60,000 miles on a car, most definitely. Who knows the difference between OE, OEM, and aftermarket parts?
Original.
Original.
Original equipment.
Yes. Good job, Linda. OEM is going to be original equipment manufacturer, and aftermarket is going to be aftermarket. So what do you want to put in your car?
Aftermarket.
What can you afford to put in your car? I'm just kidding. So, OE is gonna come in, if you drive a BMW, it's gonna come in a BMW box. It's gonna have a BMW logo. It's coming straight from BMW. OEM, it's tricky with OEM because let's say there's a company called Heelys and they make hoses and they manufacture hoses specifically for a 3 Series BMW. But they also make hoses for a 6 Series BMW, but not what comes stock in the car. They're allowed to put that OEM tag on it, but it would still be technically an aftermarket part for the 6 Series. You guys keeping up? Yeah. And then aftermarket is just a bunch of companies that try to mimic products and then sell it for cheaper. Some things you can get away with, but mainly you want to stick to OE or OEM. Those are the reputable companies. So that's my presentation. Anybody have questions?
Does it make a difference about the fuel that you put in your car?
Definitely. You'll build gunk in your engine. What's up, man?
I have a testimonial.
How many miles can you go with synthetic?
You can go safely 10,000, but the longer you do that, the more prone you are to kind of building gunk in your car. Injectors can get clogged up. Your spark plugs, the lifespan kind of shortens. Things like that happen.
Here you go.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Okay, I know you do European cars, but do you do American cars too?
Yes, so the reason why we mentioned we specialize in European is because it requires special tools. With domestic and Japanese, you can use mostly anything. They don't really require you to have licensing or specific tools all the time. But with the manufacturers I posted up on like the presentation, those definitely, I have a tool specifically for BMW, a tool specifically for Mini, and then I have one tool that does all American and Japanese together. Just to give you a good idea. What's up, Pete?
Yeah, what's the highest mileage car that you see come through repeatedly?
We have an old school Saab that's like, I think 315,000 miles on it. Like an old 900S. She's been coming for like 30 years.
Who do you like to meet this week from us?
Well, since you asked you, Mo. What's up, sir?
So I know nothing about cars,
Guys, listen up.
but my car like uses diesel oil only.
Yes.
After 2000, the light comes on every single time. Yeah. And
What
I
kind
don't
of
know
car is it?
Is it that they put too little oil or is it running oil?
You can set the interval. So you would hook up the computer and then you can determine how many miles you want that light to come on.
Oh, you can just say that.
Yeah.
I have a quick testimonial. So when Vinny first came to the group, it was like just the beginning of, end of spring, beginning of summer. And my daughter was coming home, graduating college. My son was coming home for the summer, and we needed desperately 4 cars, but we only have 3. And the third car was this old Volvo that was breaking down. Our engine mounts were breaking, the struts were broken, and it was very bumpy, shaky. And finally, we looked, could we get a new car? Could we just get a lease? What should we do? Spoke to some people, they said, you should just fix the Volvo. If you fix it, it'll work. And they were going to charge an arm and a leg. And I spoke to Vinny, and he charged half that price, got it done in 2 days. And we've been driving that car all summer safely. Thank you so much, Vinny. You're awesome.
Thank you. Mark, you got 2 years warranty on that, so.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
For somebody who's maybe not in the area and it would be more of a schlep to visit you versus the local Jiffy Lube or whatever, what's the competitive advantage that they should know about?
Get a tip.
Well, if your car takes fully synthetic, Jiffy Lube is going to reel you in with, let's say, like a 60, 99 deal. But once your car is in and they have you sign that paper, they're going to tell you your car doesn't take synthetic blend or anything. We recommend using fully synthetic, and then the price jumps up to like $100.
Do you work on higher-end cars like Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini?
Yes.
Those types of cars too?
Not Lamborghini. Not Lamborghini. There's a whole different licensing for that, but Porsche definitely. So anything Volkswagen owns, I can do. So Porsche, VW, Audi.
Volkswagen has Porsche.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Vinny, what's the lease breakdown mode?
Lease breakdown motors,
What else do we have?
old school Volvos, the 240s. New cars aren't really made to last, to be honest. Even though they're like smaller four-cylinder engines. Yes.
This might be a question for all the women in the house. As women, taking our cars into a mechanic shop might not be our most favorite thing to do. But how can we feel confident and that that we can trust you with what you're gonna be telling us that we need to repair?
Because it's Vinny, look at you, Charlie.
I know, but Vinny might not be there. So how do we feel?
I'm always there.
What are the questions we need to ask whoever we come in to feel safe that we're actually getting the right job?
First, you need to tell them I only deal with Vinny.
I'm with Vinny.
Second, I mean, you can. I don't think anybody in the business is going to take it personal if you get a second or third opinion. I mean, every time anybody gives you a quote, at least when we give a quote, we do it confidently, knowing that if you were to ask anybody else, we're giving you a good deal or a very honest deal.
Nice answer. Thank you.
And
All right.
isn't